What's up guys, welcome to Veldora-kun. I first want to thank you because we're almost at 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for your never-ending support. From our previous episode, we have seen how Tempest and Rimuru decided to settle things. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, I will put the link in the description below. Just a quick warning, these videos contain spoilers from the light novel. I also want to share to you my YouTube membership, Veldora's Loyal Knights. For more details, just click the join button below. Also, don't forget to join our Discord community, Veldora-kun Subordinates. The link is in the description. See you there. So now in this video we will review what happened next, which is the meeting between top officials of the Kingdom of Dwarven. But before we will proceed, please like, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Now without further ado, let's proceed with the video. Even if they wanted to keep the news a secret, rumors have spread to the leaders of the nations surrounding the Jura Great Forest too quickly to be controlled. And it was that Hinata the Saint was defeated by Demon Lord Rimuru. The news came across several routes, delivered with careful precision, in order to prevent exposing the actual origin. The news was spread with much vivid description. It of course had to do with someone's conspiracy. Yet without anyone's notice, the rumors started to spread like wildfire. No matter how secret the Holy Knight's attack was, there was no way to keep everyone in the dark forever. Tempest Federation was currently right in the middle of the public eye, and so the neighboring kingdoms have been vigilant in their intelligence gathering. The Holy Knight's deployment to Tempest was an open secret by this point, and that helped make this new rumor seem even more believable. And this news was interpreted in many different ways by many different people. As for the people who had received this news, there were all kinds of different reactions. Some feared the Demon Lord Rimuru. Some were angered by Hinata the Saint's supposed incompetence. Others proceeded with caution, trying to decide how best to keep their homelands safe. But along with these flowing rumors, news was also coming from official sources. Hinata the Saint and Demon Lord Rimuru battled and ended up in a tie. The result of this is a truce between Rimuru and the Jura Tempest Federation, along with the signing of a non-aggression treaty. Things were getting complicated, and that wasn't the only problem giving world leaders headaches. Those very same leaders were receiving invitations from Rimuru, the Demon Lord at the core of this crisis. The nations didn't really trust the information put out by the Western Saints Church at face value. This event was already beyond comprehension. The entire world has and would be shaken by its occurrence. Although no one knew the details, the Holy Knight Order didn't appear to have sustained any casualties. This became a decisive factor to the decision-making of the leaders of the nations. And in the midst of all these wild, twisting motives, the Western were about to experience earth-shattering change. In a corner of the Dwarven Kingdom, armored nation Dwargon, a group of ministers and top officials had settled down into a meeting. A rather imposing voice was heard in the meeting room, one that belonged to Gazelle Dwargon, the hero king of the Dwarven Kingdom. He said, now he's done it. For the past few days, the kingdom's dark agents have been busy. One by one they reported in, and the intelligence department had been working overnight to analyze all of the information they received. Information was flowing non-stop, and they had to work overnight to prepare before presenting it to the ministers. It was a grueling work, but was still better than the situation a few months ago. When Rimuru dueled Demon Lord Clayman in a political nightmare. It was the same for the agents, intelligence department, King Gazelle and the ministers of the kingdom. All of them suffered from a lack of sleep on account of that dire situation. Thinking back to that time, the current predicament was a piece of cake in comparison. One of the people in the meeting remarked, haha. We'll have to consider this as truth, even if it's unbelievable. Your junior has defeated that saint. And Dolph responded, that's extremely disrespectful of you, Vaughn. This is a public meeting room, not your own private quarters. Be mindful of where you are. Dolph is the commander of the Pegasus Knight Order. King Gazelle intervened to break up the tension. Don't blame him, Dolph. I am as surprised by this as anyone. I am sure Vaughn couldn't help but laugh. The reports in their hands laid out all the details behind recent events, and it was a roller coaster of a read from start to finish. The content was shocking. The so-called strongest human warriors, the 100 members of the Holy Knight Order, secretly launched an assault on the monster kingdom. Even the covert agents led by Henrietta, whom Gazel took pride in, only got hold of their movement in recent days. However, since his agents had discovered it, the intelligence agencies of other nations must have found out as well, knowing that many spies had infiltrated Tempest. Demon Lord Rimuru seemed to be aware of them already, but he simply let them be, likely for self-promotional purposes. In the end, the Holy Knight Order has been defeated. Demon Lord Rimuru's subordinates were victorious without any casualties. King Gazel's team had a firm grasp of what happened, and Arnietta began to give a detailed report. According to her, Hinata the Saint and Demon Lord Rimuru seemed to have engaged in a one-on-one duel at the end. However, the magicule content of the battlefield was distorted suddenly, and it interfered with all magic surveillance. She added, "We also detected extremely powerful Yauki at the scene. I suspect our surveillance was influenced by it." Where Jane asked, "So someone triggered a magicule storm powerful enough to block all monitoring magic?" And Arnietta said, "Jane-sama, I don't think it was a magicule storm. I think it was a clash of opposed energy waves triggering a jamming signal." The court mage old lady asked, "So you didn't see how this duel ended by yourselves? Why are you so sure Hinata lost?" As commander of the Holy Knight Order, Hinata was well known for her ferocity. Moreover, Jane herself was one of many to have experienced that fierceness in person, so it was hard for her to believe Hinata's defeat to be the truth. Arnietta explained that even when this is an indirect evidence, the Western Saints Church suddenly revoked its long-standing doctrine of their hostility towards all monsters. They've also sent the Kingdom of Dwarven a word about opening official connections with them. There is no way a victorious Hinata would have allowed that. In addition, their home nation Ruberios is also changing its stance, forming diplomatic ties with Tempest Federation. They even went to inform every nation, which is basically the equivalent of an official declaration. She said that these are drastic changes, so she believed they offer the clearest evidence, yet that Hinata was defeated. Jane said bitterly, "You have a point, if those stubborn-minded human supremacists suddenly decided to change their minds on this. I suppose it means something must have forced their hand. If that is indeed true, King Gazel, the likelihood of Demon Lord Rimuru having grown stronger than you has become a lot higher." Although she didn't want to admit it, Hinata the Saint and Sword Saint Gazel were similar in strength. If Hinata was defeated, it would imply that Demon Lord Rimuru had grown stronger than Hero King Gazel. The ministers shouts and protest to show their disbelief. "That's just nonsense. Jane don't know, are you insulting King Gazel?" Jane remains unfazed because that is an undeniable fact. Vaughn casually asked, "In the span of a mere few months, is it possible to achieve that much growth?" This situation started to genuinely worry Gazel down to his core. During their last encounter, he'd noticed that the newly ascended Demon Lord Rimuru was emitting a bizarre aura. He did not sense any sort of immense power, instead it was calm and peaceful, without much intent at all. While Gazel possessed the power to see people's thoughts, even with his unique skill dictator, he couldn't see through everything about him. It meant that Rimuru had gotten complete control over his power. So he answers the question, "It is likely so. He has evolved to a demon lord and possesses enough strength to rival me. It wouldn't be strange if he could defeat Hinata." The ministers asked Gazel, "But how could a monster born only a few years ago even compare to your majesty, a hero? Indeed. Could there be a mistake? And even if it is so, wouldn't that make the Demon Lord Rimuru far too dangerous?" The ministers were uproarious once more. King Gazel sighed to himself. If that was how the logic went, then Demon Lord Rimuru would not be the only person posing a threat. He checked the documents again and found out that Rimuru's lieutenants also fought against the 10 great saints, and the report showed that the monsters under his rule did not suffer a single defeat. They fought against the humans on their own and achieved complete victory. A particularly distressing report claimed that one of them had suppressed several holy knights all by themselves. If they decided to trust this report, it would mean that the total military force of Tempest Federation had surpassed that of armored nation Dwargon. King Gazelle wondered if those subordinates of Rimuru have gone stronger as well. At this point, they must be hard to defeat even with all of their nation's might. The ministers continued to argue about the issue, taking sides against each other about the severity of the danger. Gazelle was troubled that both sides made valid points. Ignoring the arguing ministers, he began to ponder. He was considering whether to eliminate the opposition before they became too much of a threat. He rejected such idea because Demon Lord Rimuru was a reasonable monster. More importantly, he wished for friendly coexistence with human nations. The proof of this desire was the fact that he had built a civilized town and helped humans, all while trying to cooperate with other kingdoms. Gazelle firmly believed so. Demon Lord Clayman was eliminated, yet Hinata remained unharmed. This was a fact. For that alone, Gazelle believed Rimuru would not be an enemy to mankind. That's why Gazelle decided to laugh off the minister's concerns. King Gazelle said, "Haha, don't worry. That Rimuru is my junior. I would also like to remind you that we have backed the nation of Tempest earlier than any other nation. Are you all wishing for me to abandon this trust and the benefits that come with it just to doubt Rimuru?" His words were infused with ruler haki so as to intimidate the ministers. Thanks to its power, most ministers managed to regain their composure. Each of the ministers showed their thoughts, indeed. Now that I think about it, it is quite stupid to abandon the trading opportunities with this nation. The goods we take from them have immeasurable appeal. And we've transferred recovery potion manufacturing to them. It is the same for their technological exchange, which can't be established if we don't have faith in them. Why is there any need for us to panic? That's true. We shouldn't be worrying so much at this point in time. Seeing their expressions, a smile emerged on Gazelle's face as well. Being frank and honest was the motto of the Dwarven Kingdom, even if the other party was indeed a demon lord, that didn't warrant discriminating against them. Seeing that everyone was reminded of this, Gazelle felt satisfied as well. Rimuru had indeed acquired astoundingly immense power, yet anyone who had witnessed how he treated others in life would undoubtedly know that he was someone worthy of trust. Right now they were on quite friendly terms with this Rimuru. Given this was the case, their relationship had to be maintained in the future. And that's it for my video. Now, it's shout out time. I want to thank my beloved existing loyal knights. Next, I want to give a shout out to my Discord booster. Thank you for boosting the server. Thank you so much everyone. See you on my next upload.